everyone, it's Holmes from Home Storybooks, and I'm here with my Cozy Reading Night to Read pile. Cozy Reading Night is already over in the UK, and technically it's almost 8 o'clock here because I do things on queer time, but I'm planning to read from around 8 till 11, so that's still a 3-hour readathon. I have a whole pile of books here. I'm not going to read them all, but maybe a chapter from each would be wonderful. Let's start with this mammoth pile. I have everything on my Kindle, but I'll probably read Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy to get started on a buddy read with Arielle from She Wants the Diction. Arielle, I know we said we'd start tomorrow night, but classics can be difficult for me to get into, so I need all the help I can get. The next on this pile is China Rich Girlfriend, the sequel to Crazy Rich Asians by Kwan. I'm hoping to read 1 or 2 chapters of this, considering it's due back in a week and 30 people are waiting to read it. I keep getting stuck on the same part of this book, so I'm hoping I can push past it and get right back into this wild and atmospheric world. The next one is a huge graphic memoir. It is Spinning by Tilly Walden, which is about their time as a figure skater when they were a teenager. It's got this beautiful monochromatic palette, and because it's so big, I don't want to spend the whole night reading it. Another one I'd love to read is Hurricane Child by Kacen Kalender. It's about a young girl in the Virgin Islands who is LGBTQ+. I love the setting and the writing is so powerful so far, but it is really emotional and heavy, so I'm gonna finish just 1 chapter of this and pace myself. Then I'd love to read Disintegrate, Dissociate by Arielle Twist. This is a debut First Nations two-spirit poetry collection that's been one of my most anticipated reads. It's by one of my favorite publishers, Arsenal Pulp Press, and I really hope I can sink my teeth into it and maybe even finish it. This next book is a gorgeous junior non-fiction book about sharks called Smart About Sharks by Owen and Davey. I've had this for quite a few weeks now, and honestly I just need to read it and return it so actual children can read it and enjoy it. The last book on this pile is The Mammoth We Are Everywhere by Leighton Brown and Matthew Reimer. This huge book is blurbed by some of my favorite queer nonfiction writers like George Chauncey, and just in general, I'd love to start reading this because I know I'll adore it, but it is physically cumbersome to carry around. It's a huge, oversized coffee table book, so I'd love to get past at least the introduction, and that's it. It's officially past 8 now, so I will curl up and get started. I'm here with Hurricane Child, and I'm planning on finishing 1 more chapter. My wife is playing a video game. I will start with the more heavily emotionally charged stuff and then move on to something easier. Okay, so I finished that 1 chapter of Hurricane Child, and honestly, it might be lightening up in tone a little bit, but it still makes me feel so vulnerable. Wow. So now to pick the next read, and it will be Smart About Sharks. And honestly, let's just have a moment for this book. It's so gorgeous. The end papers are gorgeous. And look at these cool shark facts about the tasseled wobbegong shark. Look at more cool shark illustrations. Look at this apex predator. Honestly, I'm like obsessed now with sharks. It's a thing. Okay, I love this book. 5 out of 5 stars. On to my next read, Disintegrate, Dissociate by Arielle Twist. I'm just flipping through this for the first time, and I can already tell I'm gonna love it just from those little glances at the language alone. Man, I'm so excited to read right now. Also, the one thing I didn't really talk about tonight before we started was snacks, but my wife made calzones. I'm gonna tuck them away in the fridge, but oh my lord, they're so good. Can you see if I prop you up like that against a pasta pot? Okay, 10-10 tripod improvisation skills. Putting these away in the fridge, just in case you didn't know, it was peach season right now. It's peach season. They are all so good. Oh my god. Okay, I've moved to the bedroom because Val's game was a little bit distracting, although it wasn't as bad as God of War. Anyways, I was planning on having a bath tonight so that I could read and bathe at the same time, but I actually really need to wash my hair, and does anyone else hate washing their hair in the bathtub? I really do. Hello pals, I'm back in bed, I've showered, I've moisturized, I'm feeling super relaxed, so now I'm going to read. But in a surprise turn of events, I think I want to read They Both Die at the End by Silvera. I want to read one more chapter of this. I'm still not sure if Silvera is my sort of writer, but it's a really popular book at the library right now and it features lots of queer themes. My friend is reading it right now and feels very lukewarm towards it, and I trust her opinion, so we'll see. Oh, you know what I should do right now? I should show you my wife's plants. Okay, so this is our rosemary. She's not doing too hot, but she's a few years old, so we're keeping an eye on her. And this one, what is this one? This one's chives. And here are all the little baby aloe plants. Most of these are from the same plant. This is a little stripy succulent I got from my wife when she was having a bad day. This is a cacti that I rescued from a workplace. And here's this little guy who I think I got from a conservatory for my wife's birthday. Here's another aloe, and then here is the parent aloe. This mama aloe was actually a cutting from my sister-in-law's aloe plant. And then it has so many more baby aloe. We are overflowing with aloe, I think. But I should actually show you the pink UV light. This grow light gives plants nutrients like the sun does, so that's really cool. So I'm back in bed and my plan is to finish this poetry collection. I'm loving it so far. Wow, I finished it and I totally loved it. I read it in like one sitting, but I definitely want a copy. I forgot to say that it's blurbed by like some of my favorite trans artists, creators, and activists, so that's super lovely. Damn Arsenal Pulp Press doing the Lord's work again. When you slyly ask your wife to bring you a snack and she brings you a peach, and by slyly, I mean I asked and I hope for the best. My wife is the best. I'm going to read a chapter of They Both Die at the End, and I really hope I love it. Good news! I loved the next chapter of They Both Die at the End. It was from a different character's perspective, and I love that. I'm still not sold on the premise, but I am continuing more optimistically towards the next chapter. Now, for this behemoth, God, this whole thing is just so gorgeous. It honestly takes my breath away. I love the design. So many full-page spreads of gorgeous photographs blurbed by my favorite queer writers and non-fiction champions. I need a copy of this. Okay, so I read one section of this and I've made considerable progress considering how big it is. I think that's from all those beautiful photographs that I fell in love with. I'm so glad I sat down and actually hauled it up and read it because now I just want to hug it forever. It's coming to the end of the night, I'm tired, and I work again tomorrow night, so I think I will wrap it up with 1 or 2 chapters of Tess by Tom Hardy. This has been super fun to do and I can't wait for the next cozy reading night. Good night, everyone!